Alright, so now when we have our auth state ready, we will work on our profile page. Okay, let's go to our profile page. Here, first we are going to override our on initialize async method. And first thing we will check if we are logged in or not. So we'll say auth state dot is logged in. If we are not logged in, then this profile page, we are not going to show profile page, right? We have the tab bar. We will allow user to come here, but here we are simply going to show alert message, and then we'll navigate user to the login page. That's what we are going to do here. All right. So we'll checking here. Let's just use the simple one, not on initializing, just on initialized. So if not auth state dot is logged in, if user is not logged in, we'll say await MAUI interop dot alert async, and let's use on initialized async then. On initialized async. So MAUI interop dot alert async. Here we need to provide message, right? First one is message, then second one is title. Yes, first one is message. We'll say you need to be logged in to view the profile page, something like this. And alert, the title will say login required. Okay, then we'll simply say navigation manager navigation manager. Let's inject this navigation manager here. Inject navigation manager. Navigation manager dot navigate to. We'll move user to login, and we'll say replace true, because we don't want the user to come back to this page from login page. What we'll do here, it will be a loop actually if we not add this replace true. How? So what will happen if we don't have this replace true? We will come to profile page, on initialized, we'll go to login page, and on login page if we press back button, it will come back to profile page. Here we will again going to check this, redirecting it to login, so it will be kind of this state. So we will have replace true. That means the current state of the history, URL history, it will be wiped out. So we will have just login. When we'll say press back button, it will not come to this page. That is what we need. And with this, we are good for the default case. Then what should be happening after login? It should come back to this page only. It should not go to the, because on login page if we see after logging in, we are redirecting to slash. This should not be the case, because if we are coming from profile page after logging in, we should go back to profile page only, right? So for this, what we can do, we can have multiple approaches. One thing is, on this login page, we can have some query string parameter, or let's handle it using auth state. So in auth state, we can simply have a parameter, a property here. Let's say prop and string, nullable string. We'll say redirect URL from login, something like this. Okay, we can have a default value as slash. Let's not have this question mark then. Save it. Now we are good. Now what we'll do, when we are on profile page, we will set auth state dot redirect URL from login. We will set it to slash profile. Okay. Then we will be on login page. So here we are redirecting to this slash. Instead of this slash, what we'll do, we'll simply say auth state dot redirect URL from login. And after redirecting, we'll simply reset this URL. So we'll reset it back to slash like this. Now, for the default normal case, it will go to this default value, which is slash, that means home page. If we are coming from profile page, it will be set to profile. So after logging in, it will simply come to profile page. This is what we need. Okay, now we are good here. Here we can have one piece of state to check, or maybe not. Inside this, let's say we will have a check here. If not auth state dot is logged in, then we'll render some other HTML template. If we are logged in, then we'll have our complete page. So why we are checking this? Because the on initialized method without the async one, that works synchronously before rendering the page, but when we have this async version, it works differently. It will come here on this await, and then it will simply go to render the HTML. So here if we are going to access something from authState.user, it will fail because we are awaiting it and user is not logged in. So that's why it's better to have this check here and render some other stuff here. And if we don't want to render anything, if user is not logged in, then we can simply say just this authState dot is logged in. Then only we are going to have our HTML here, our same Blazor template. Okay. So here what we'll have some one user icon, then username. Then we are going to have a couple of options, maybe editing the profile, changing password, managing address, and logout. Okay, let's do this. Div class, we are going to have just a container with p3. So from all sides, we are going to have this uh, padding. Should we have this padding? Okay, let's see how it looks, but right now we are good. Okay, inside this, we are going to have first user image. We don't have user image. We are going to use simple user icon and then user name. Okay, first we'll say div class row. Inside this row, we are going to have div class. We can have maybe call 12 only if we want to, or maybe let's say call 4, or yeah, call 6. 4 is fine, I guess, or 6. I'm just trying to think if we have longer username than call 6, it makes more sense. Or maybe let's have call 12, whatever space it can take, let it take. We will just move the entire thing inside this to center line. That's what we'll do. In call 12, we'll say display flex, justify content center. Okay, so the items are center aligned. And let's do this. Align items center, and let's have flex column. We are going to have user image icon first. Let's have a div class. We are going to have some classes here, and here we'll say I class bx, which is for box icon, which we are using in this bxsm bx user. Okay, and on this div, let's say bg white. Okay, so background we can have white, or maybe let's say bg app primary, and we'll say text white. We are going to have some height and width. So we have the square class, right? Square class, and we have rounded circle as well. So we need square. This is for height and width. Rounded circle for rounding. And let's see how it looks. After this thing, we are going to have name. The name, we can have a label with some classes if we want. And here we will simply render our auth state dot user dot name. This time we know user will not be null, so we can simply use this null for giving operator. Here we can have maybe h2 or h3. Let's have h3 and m0 margin 0. And on this display flex column, here we can have gap of 2 to have some spacing in these. Now after this div class row, we are going to have the next div class again a row. Inside this also let's have div class called 12 to take up the entire space. What is happening? This is div, this one. All right. Inside this we are going to have multiple options. So let me use ul with class list unstyled. This is coming from bootstrap. By default ul has those dots, right? Initial dots. If we use list unstyled, we will not have the. That's why we are using this list unstyled. Here we are going to have multiple options. So li, let's have some spacing using padding. So let's say p2. And inside this we are going to have one icon. Let's say I plus bx for backside box icon. Okay, bxsm, and then bx, let's say edit the pencil icon. And here the text we are going to have is edit profile, label edit profile. We are going to give an option to edit the profile, and we are going to have some small helper text as well here. So let me do this. Let me have a div here, and then we'll have this label. And after this label we are going to have a small text. Let's say edit your name or mobile number. We will allow these two things to be editable, because apart from this we have password. For that we are going to have different option. Then we have email. We are not allowing email to change, or maybe we can do that as well, but in that case we will need to re uh, revalidate or regenerate the token and all. So you can do that also if you want to. I'm going to have this name or name and mobile number only. Okay, all right. After this let's copy. We have these, right? So let's have some class here, so that we can modify or do something if you want to. First on this label let's have text app primary. Okay, on this edit profile, edit this thing here. Let's have it as text secondary. Save it. And on this div let's say option, something like this, or menu options, or what should we call it? Menu name, something like this. All right. Now let's copy this li and let's have our other options. After edit we are going to have a change password. We'll say change password. Change your password. We can have this text here. Change your password. And the icon, we should have some lock icon here. AX lock. We'll see if we have this icon. Then we are going to have one more option here for managing the addresses. We'll say manage addresses. Here we are going to have small help text. Let's say add, edit, or delete your address. Something like this. Okay, and we are going to have one more option for logout. Logout. log out from fresh wage card, right? The name of our app. All right. So now we are good with this basic designing. Let's have change these icons. So for address, we are going to use bx map, and for logout, I think we have this logout icon. With this, we are good. We will see how is it looking, and then we'll try to modify it in the browser console so that we can see it working, tweaking the design and all. So let app is here. Let's go to profile page and we can see this ugly looking design. But at least we can see everything. We have all these items. We just need to design these a bit. Alright, now what we'll do, we'll simply go to the browser console. Fact. Let's refresh. It should pick this up. It takes some time. Okay, it is here. Let's click on inspect. Now we can start designing. First thing, we will come here in this div. Let's say text center. Text center. This is here. Then we want this to be vertically center as well. We have two options. Either we can have simply display flex and align item center on this one, this BGA primary, or we can set the line height to same as the height of this. So we have square which has this height 34. So here let's say if we directly set line height here, could be it, not on this one, the let's do this on this BGA primary only. Let's do this display flex and align items center and justify content center as well. Justify content center. So it is now in middle of this. All right. Cool. So let's quickly copy this thing, entire thing. This is on the container of pxsm user. This one. Paste it. Save it. Good. Now we have all these options. On this UL, let's do this. We are going to have BG white on this thing. And let's skip the padding. We have this padding on the main container. So we are going to remove this padding. And we can have, let's say my3. So we can have this from top and bottom. All right. Then here we have row, we have call 12, which has padding from left and right. So instead of having this BG white on this thing, we can have this on this row like this. Then we have all these allies. On li, we can have a class of, let's say, border bottom. We can see the small border. Let's have this edit profile. I want this to be here, this right side. So that means we have this menu name, we have I, we have li. So in li, what we can do, we can make display flex, deflex. If I do this, we can see this thing. Let's have a gap of 2. So this gap. Now this menu name, this has these two things here. Maybe on the first one or the second small one, we can have simply display block so that it goes to the next line. All right. Now on this deflex, we can have this here only, or we can move it to the center, vertically center. So for moving this to vertically center, we can say align items center. Now it is in center. Maybe it looks good on upside only here. And then on this anchor, this icon, we can have same text app primary. Nice. Now let's have a small icon here, the right icon, so that it shows as the proper setting menu, something like that. We'll search for it, what we can have, what icon we are going to have for that right align. Then on this row, we need to have some spacing here after username. So let's say MT3. So we have this spacing here now. All right. Let's see what all we did. First, we removed the P3 and we added MY3. Let's go to the code. Here we remove this P3 and we added MY3. After that, we came here on the row where we have all our menu items. This row, we added this row bg white empty3. Then we call 12 list and style. Then on li, we have setting these things. Li, we are setting these things. P2, border bottom. So we are going to have these on all these li's. After that, on box icon, we are going to have this text app primary. Let's add this one and this one. Save it. After that, we have menu name, text app primary, and then we have this D block on this small, the help text primary and D block. Cool. Save everything. And on the right side, I was saying that we are going to have one icon, box icon. Where is it? Box icon. Right. This one. Chevron right. Font. Let's copy this. Okay. So here, after this div, we are going to have this icon here. We are going to have this icon everywhere. All right. And this icon, we need this to be at the very end, at the very right. Okay. So for this, what we can do, this middle section, this one, we can have flex grow one on this section so that it takes the entire space, whatever remaining from the first icon and last icon. Okay. So here on this menu name, we'll say flex grow one. Let's copy this, add this to all menu name, this one and this one. Save it. And we want this to be center aligned vertically. Okay. So for this, we need to have align item center on this li. Align items center. But if we'll do this first icon is also going to be center aligned vertically, but this is not what we want. So we have two options. We can have align item center here, and then we can have a separate div for this one, and we'll have it vertically on top. Or same thing we can do for this one. We can have a separate div and we can have it center aligned in that div. Okay, let's do this. Let's wrap this and sorry. So where were we? We were trying to set these things. Okay, this icon. Let's have this also text secondary. This icon text secondary text secondary. Hmm. Now let's try to run it again and we'll see how is it looking now. Okay, Okay, our app is here. Let's check profile page and we can see this. This is fine, not very good. We need to move this to center vertically and we can remove this last border bottom, right? And we have this padding. Why we have this padding kind of thing at the very end? Padding or whatever it is. So we will not have border bottom. The last one, save it. This is one thing. Then we are going to have some more space here. Should we have some more space? Let's change this gap 2 to gap 3. Gap 3, gap 3, gap 3, and gap 3. After that, let's have some spacing in these two. So this menu name and all these two things. So we'll say empty one. Add this on all these empty one and margin top one. Right. Then this thing we need to move it to the vertically center. So this I tag, what we can do. Let's try for the first one. Then we'll see for all others. So we'll say div class. Inside this we are going to have this. Then we'll say display flex align items center, save it. Let's restart. Okay, we are here and now we can see this. The first one, if you see, first one, it is here. Cool. Now we can simply move, right? Cool. Now we can have this same thing for all others, but before that, on this bx also, let's have bxsm. Make this icon bigger. And let's change all these and we'll be good. Save, save everything, and now we should be good. Now, on edit profile, we are going to open maybe a modal pop-up or we can implement bottom sheet. Yeah, we'll do bottom sheet. So on edit profile, we will have a bottom sheet with the name and mobile number fields. Then for change password also, we are going to have a bottom sheet. Then for manage addresses, for this we are going to have a separate page because we will have a list of addresses. Then we are going to have uh, add edit address related stuff. For add edit address, we can have the bottom sheet, again same thing, but for managing our address, the address list, we are going to have list some similar this kind of UI only. Then for logout, we don't have to do anything extra. We can simply call a method directly on logout. Okay, let's quickly work on logout. This thing we can work right away. What we can do, we can simply have a code block here. If we go to auth state, logout, we are not going anywhere, right? So here what we'll do, we'll have a method private void logout. We'll first say auth state dot logout. Then we'll say navigation manager dot navigate to. Now it's up to us where we want to navigate to. We want to navigate to login page or we want to navigate to home page. It's up to us. Let's maybe just navigate to home page. Okay. Here also we can simply say replace true. And let's call this logout from this entire click. So we can click on this li anywhere. We will simply log out. So this last li is for this one. So on this li, we'll say at the rate on click, and we'll have logout. All right. Maybe we can have confirmation here if we want to say sync task And here we can say await, or let's say if await await MAUI interrupt dot confirm missing. First, do you want to log out? Then we can simply have confirm logout maybe. And if this is true, then only we'll log out and move to the home page. If that's not the case, we'll simply skip it. We will not do anything. Let's quickly restart so that we can see the all these chevron icons in the vertically center, and then on clicking of logout section, logout ally, it should navigate us back to the home page. App is here. Let's go to profile. Let's click on logout. We can see this yes, no. If we say no, nothing will happen. If we say yes, first let's see this UI. You can see this is looking nice now. And if we say log out, yes, we are on home page. If we press back, nothing is happening, or we came out of the app because there is nothing previously, because we used replace. There is no history back. Alright, with this. Cool. So we are done with this basic stuff. Now for that change password and edit profile, we are going to have that bottom sheet. That thing will work.